Please. Yeah, please, we have some questions. If you need to send in your questions, you can scan the QR code if you want to be anonymous, or if you want, we'll still pass the mic, but if you want to be anonymous, you can scan the QR code and send in your questions. You can direct the questions to individual speakers or just write it and then any.
Thank you. Good afternoon once again. Okay, by the way, Lori is also my okay, so can we give her another round? In the room, I also have another organ who is also seated over there. Okay, purpose. Don't mind my voice, I have a cold, so bear with me. Yeah. So, purpose to me is quite diverse, and it could even change, and it requires a lot of nurturing as we grow, as we meet people, but ultimately it has to do with the passion. What do you want to do? Growing up, I wanted to be a teacher, and I think when my profile was read, linguistics flew in there somehow. But along the line, one of the things that I noticed around my environment were social biases around young people, teenage pregnancy, and other issues related to reproductive health. And I wanted to have an interaction more with young people because, and to the best of my knowledge, I knew that I was different, and I used to read a lot, and I engaged a lot with those who were far older than me, and the passion grew and continued. But again, I had the other passion. I wanted to be a teacher. So when I completed my secondary school, went to the university, I left for service. I found some part of the passion, the NYSC reproductive and HIV education program that Victor had also mentioned. And I had a task to mentor 40 young persons about HIV and reproductive health. And in Ondo that year, I did a lot of programs beyond the primary task that I had, and that of my primary assignment teaching in school. And for me, that was one of the greatest fulfillments I had. I came back, and as everyone would expect from service, you need a job, you need money, and all of that. And I started a marketing job with MTN. And I saw another job advert that would take me back into these programs that would deal with young people, HIV prevention, and then couples. I left that one and came to this Abuja. And that was how I started pursuing a career in development. Working with young people, and I started working with young people in Asarawa here. And you could feel the change for every day, because as you engage young people, you would see them come back with stories of how what you have told them have changed their lives, right? But there was the other passion about being a teacher. So I enrolled for a master's, and that took me all the way to get a PhD. But along the line, just to be sure that I could still teach professionally, I went back to do another postgraduate program in education, specifically just so that within the work I do, I can also dive into early child care and development and looking after children and young people. For me, it was part of that fulfillment, but I went a step further. I identified some other children of cousins, or as the case may be, or some other financially challenged households, and I started supporting with school fees in a structured manner that impacts them. And I was so happy. Last year I had someone left the university. This year, someone just left secondary school. And I had, in the last 3 years, had about 5 who left primary school. So, purpose is also diverse. And one of the things that led me to doing this is the fact that someone also helped me go through school. My father died just before my third birthday, and I was the last of 8. So we can see that there was a lot to do, right? And we had little support. So all of us had to struggle one way or the other until my aunt took me up, put me through the university. So fulfilling your purpose has to do with, one, identifying that thing you're passionate about, following it through. It may be one way, it may be several parts. For me, I still love the part of teaching. So on the side, I still do that. I still like the part of working with children and young people. I still do that in the way I can. And in fact, even in the church, I had to identify teaching children in the kids' church, just so that I keep in touch with that on the spiritual end as well. And then this other part that also gets me money in the pocket, which is the data analysis, and all of that, that helps me to also help the others in need. I feel that these different ways are ways of fulfilling the things that I'm passionate about. When I read a book, The Alchemist, if you read it, one of the striking quotes I got from it is that, not quoting directly, but it says that if you want something, the entire universe conspires to help you achieve it. And that is the same for the purpose. You identify your purpose. One of the things, like I said, you have to be passionate about it, identify, follow it through. Sometimes, like she also said, you need to have a journal, right? I have this book, Dear Jimin, and it talks about so many things that I desire and I want to do, like being a governor. So 2 years ago, when I knew that it's a little tough considering our space, I went to an ad hoc political school, electoral college. And even before then, I had created a social space which looks at accountability. And it basically focuses on community engagement and accountability. And what do? Just creating awareness on the need to participate in the political process. And just like Dori mentioned, Nigeria is our country. Sometimes we all say we won't be part of that political process. But it's important that we participate. We'll never have other better persons to participate in this process if we don't. Nigeria is our country, and if we're passionate about Nigeria, we need to save Nigeria, right? So in that aspect, I'm also happy doing it, hoping that as I learn through the ropes, I would also achieve that aim of being a governor, bringing change, empowering people, making sure that our living standards are improved wherever I'll be. So have the passion, walk through it, write it down, and have small plans or milestones that you desire to achieve, right? And I'm happy that with PurposeNest, other young people or other persons aspiring to achieve purpose can find some sort of support. Mentorship is very key. You must have those elders or others with the right experience you can go to sometime, all the time, and you get the wisdom that requires you to take the next giant steps. So purpose is key. It is in your hands. If it's to be or to be achieved, it's in your hands, and only in your hands to drive it. And I'll stop.
Put our hands together for